Hello and welcome to this Evolution Special. This is the second Evolution Special I've done. Today we're just going to take a group of Pokemon, 6 of them to be precise, and we're going to evolve them. This is just I can show you what levels you need to get them to and what they evolve into. And there's one of these Pokemon you actually have to make sure you have space in your group, as well as spare Pokeballs, but I'll show you which one that is in a second. So let's get going with my Natu. She's now going to evolve into a Xatu. This Pokemon actually evolves at level 25, but because the only place you can catch these is the Safari Zone, and most of the Pokemon there are at level 25 anyway. You just need to get to the level up one level, and hey presto, it will evolve. You don't necessarily have to do this. You can actually catch this Pokemon in the Safari Zone as well, but it is kind of rare. So there we go. Right, I'll just switch that out and put my Phanpy in, which will evolve into a Donphan. Now this is something you do have to do. You cannot catch the Donphan in the game at all, so you do have to catch a Phanpy in the Safari Zone, and you do have to evolve it to get this Pokemon in your Pokedex. And again, it normally evolves at 25, but this Phanpy I caught at level 27, so as soon as I level it up to 28, it will just evolve. Phanpy is actually one of the better Pokemons. It's also, if you actually catch 2 of them, you can breed one and get one at level 5 and level that one up. When it does eventually evolve into Donphan, you'll have an extremely powerful ground type Pokemon that can learn one of the best ground type moves, which is Earthquake. But as I've got my Flygon, which is a Dragon Ground, and I'm not going to actually be using this Pokemon at all, but I'm just doing it for the Pokedex entry. And there we go, a Donphan. And now I'm going to do a Sandshrew, which evolves into a Sandslash at level 22. Sandshrew is actually quite a good Pokemon. It's a pure ground type, but the only downside to it is it doesn't learn very many, if at all, any good ground type attacks, so you will have to use TMs to teach it Earthquake and that, which is a shame, because it is actually a pretty cool looking Pokemon. It's quite quick as well, which is unusual for a ground type. Okay, so Sandshrew and Sandslash done. I'm now going to do my Whismur, which evolves into a Loudred at level 20. And there we go, there's my Whismur evolved into a Loudred. Now this is actually quite a good Pokemon, good normal type Pokemon. But I'm not going to be using this at all, but feel free to use it, it learns some good attacks. And that. And now what I'm going to do is actually going to head back to the Pokemon Center and drop off a couple of these Pokemon and get out one of my Pokemon I am actually using, and I'm going to level up the remaining couple of Pokemon using the experience share, because they are weak and won't actually defeat Pokemon here very easily. So this will be a much quicker way of doing this. Okay, let's just quick Magikarp. If I can click on the right thing. Maybe not. Here we go. I'm going to equip Magikarp with the experience share. Because as we all know, Magikarp is very weak until it evolves into a Gyarados. And you might also want to make note that I actually only have 3 Pokemon with me. That's very important. Something strange will happen soon, which I'll explain in a minute. And here we go, there's my Magikarp evolving into a Gyarados. Right, now let's take the experience share off my Gyarados and give it to my Nicadia. Now this Pokemon evolves at level 20, but it actually evolves into 2 Pokemon at the same time, which is why you need to make sure you have a space in your group and a spare Pokeball. And I say it evolves twice, it basically evolves, but it leaves behind the shedded skin, which a lot of bugs in reality do, and other reptiles like snakes and that, they always shed their skin. So the same sort of things happen here. So as I say, you just need to make sure when you evolve this Pokemon that you have a spare space in your party and a spare Pokeball. And here we go, here goes my Nicadia evolving, and it's going to evolve into a Ninjask. And it's also going to learn a load of moves. It learns about 3 or 4 moves once it evolves. But since I'm not going to be using this Pokemon, I'm not going to bother letting it learn any of these. I'm just going to say no to all of them. But if you're a bug type trainer, this is actually a pretty good bug type Pokemon to use, and does learn some interesting moves. If we now go and look at our group, you'll notice that we actually have 4 Pokemon now rather than just 3. The Shell Dina here is basically just the skin that's left behind when the bug evolves, which is now a Pokemon with a halo above it. So it's kind of a ghosty bug type Pokemon, which isn't that great because it only has 1 HP. And there we go, that's pretty much it for this Evolution special. Hope you enjoyed it. I'm now just going to go back to the Pokemon Center and just drop off all these Pokemon and get my normal Pokemon back in my group, so I'm ready to continue my adventure through the Hoenn region. So thanks for joining me, and keep an eye out for future Evolution specials where I'll show you which stones you need to use to evolve certain Pokemon and which Pokemon need to be evolved through taming.